What's going on, people? Welcome back to the Pirate and His Poems. This is a bit of a longer one. This is a poem. This is a poem that I originally wrote as more of an essay, and I remember I shared it with someone, and they said to me, they were like, "Steve, you should put this out." And so I gave it a little bit of a tweak and a little bit of a little bit of a polish, and this is what it is. It's available. It's available. I think it's on my SoundCloud. There's a recording that was done at the studio at about 5 in the morning. It's quite a tough listen, because the voice is raspy and gritty, but it's tough because of the subject matter. So, yeah. This is called Lucky. I've been contemplating suicide. Not doing it, just the act itself. 4,400 people end their own lives each year. 10 times as many contemplate it. Fact is, an unaccountable number knowingly or unconsciously travel along the path to self-destruction. The only thing that links all 4,400, in the end, living was harder than not. On a daily basis, I consider what it would be like to experience death. How would it feel if a car hopped the curb and ploughed straight into me? Or if I lost my balance, slipped, fell, toppled, tumbled all the way to the bottom of the stairs. Thud. A cold, hollow thud as my skull cracked against the solid tile floor. The thing is, in these scenarios, the scenarios that my brain delights in making me entertain daily, forcing me to contemplate, the end is always the same. It's touch and go. Quiet, powerful confidence gets me through. Beautiful lights flash, paramedics, doctor, coma. Lucky. I'm in a coma. Lucky. And there I lie. Lucky. Wave. A wave of contemplation. What impact would this have on the world? The teary phone calls, infinite Facebook statuses in their hundreds, nay, their thousands. The dense dark fog that would descend as the world considered its continuation without me. Now remember, this is in my head, and my imagination may inflate the actual reaction. And then, by the grace of life, I wake. The nurses rushed from my family who were somberly waiting outside. The nurse was giving me a little bubble bath and definitely taking a little peek, that dirty little thing. I slowly start to wake. Me and my mum and I hug while the family surrounds the bed. I make some poorly timed joke like, "I ain't done yet," or "the devil sent me back because he couldn't keep up with me on a sesh. He was embarrassed." Cut to the tears of thousands of devastated people waiting in silence outside of the hospital, receiving the news, bawling with affection, elation. The fog begins to retreat. The giggle dungeon flag is erected in celebration across the world, and I remain. Even in my dark destruction of self-exploitation, I'm pulled back. And I attribute that to my unwavering belief that I can do something. I can be something. I am something. I am formidable. I have people in my life who love me. But lost love rips away from your very essence, tears from your very fibre, and it marks your soul. But sometimes, on a weekday, on a hard day, on a day of separation, on a day of doubt, on a day of, well, one of those days where the circle is exactly that. The car hasn't hopped the curb, I'm lying in the road. I haven't lost my balance. I've let it go. I've noticed how sharp the knife is while I'm cutting the peppers. I'm aware of how many paracetamol we have in the house. Yeah. So it's a little bit darker than the normal, I suppose. But we started with a poem about my friend, and my friend who had killed himself. And it wasn't just after that. Suicide's been something that I wouldn't necessarily, I wouldn't say that but it's exactly that I've contemplated what suicide is. And there's been times in my life when things have seemed almost unbearable, and I didn't know if I was going to be strong enough to make it through them. And I was writing this in a time when I was so lonely and so full of pain, and I poured it into this. I was honest with myself about how I was feeling, and the way I was feeling was that things are very hard for a lot of people, and through sharing this poem, I'm not gonna. It's not my place to say names but people very close to me, very significant to me, older than me, who cared for me as I was growing up, opened themselves up. They read this, and it opened up a dialogue between me and them, and me and many other people who've read this or heard the track, which you can go and listen to now. I'll put a link in the description. And it opened up a dialogue, and that taught me, because I'd always felt since Tom, I'd always felt like if we'd have just been able to talk. And if you're someone who's thinking no one's going to listen, I mean, first of all, get in touch. Let's have a chat. I've talked to many, like I've been lucky enough that when I put certain messages out of if you need someone to talk to, get in touch. I'm so grateful that message has been received by quite a few people who've actually understood that I mean it. I really mean it. And they've contacted me, and we've talked, and talked people down off the figurative and the literal ledge at times. But talking is as painful as it can be, and as daunting as it can be. Being honest about how we're feeling and what we're going through is kind of the only way we can ever get past it, I think. I believe that anyway, and I know that it's helped me many times. And this was me just looking at sometimes just being honest with myself, knowing that I don't want to, but knowing that sometimes I've genuinely felt like maybe it would be, I don't want to say easier, because it's obviously not easy. It's not an easy thing to do. But being at least honest with myself enough to look at where I was helped me realise that I need to start making changes in my life to take myself, to stop myself being trapped in those feelings. And then sharing it helped me have a dialogue with people that I think I valued and I think is really important. So thank you so much for listening, and I mean this when I say, if you're someone who's out there and you need someone to talk to, look, I might not always be available, but if you just drop me a message in my inbox, let's have a chat. So thank you for listening. Thank you so much for listening. And people are there. They're what, and you can change. You can find a way to help yourself, and you can find a way you can find the strength. I know you can. All right, cool. That's been this episode of Thepirate and Hispoems. I've been Steve Valentino again. Like, subscribe, and please do share. And we'll see you next time. And guys, I'm also this is just a little add-on. There's a lot of charities, and there's a lot of services that are there and open for people who are having battles with their mental health or feeling low and depressed and down. And at the moment, I think it's gonna happen. The world's pretty bleak right now, but we can make it better just by communicating and staying and together and being there for each other. And if you're worried about someone, reach out, say hello, let them know that you're there for them. And if you're someone who is feeling a certain way, I'm gonna put as many of the the numbers that I can think of and all the organisations that I'm aware of. I'm going to put links in there just in case you guys aren't aware of them. There are people who are providing 24-hour call centres and stuff that you can call, and they'll be a bit better equipped than I would be as well. But I mean it when I say that. Just get in touch and if I'm not available, please do that, because yeah, just get in touch. You know, it's a big it's something you can't come back from. It's worth finding. It's worth trying everything you can to make that not be the only option that you're left with. All right. See you next time.